Can I begin?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Hey, talk to me now. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Let's get on J.
In the 1980s, there was a massive wave of Polish immigrants from Europe immediately following Poland's independence from the Soviet Union. A portion of these immigrants happened to settle in the homey neighborhood of Manhattan Avenue, Greenpoint, in Brooklyn, New York, and ended up creating their own little Polish community in which they could live in their own harmony. However, over time, our research and observations illustrate the general decreasing rate of the working-class immigrant population, leading us to wonder what could have caused it. In order to find the answer to our questions, we interviewed Demetri Siafakas, co-owner of Peter Pan Donuts, and discovered a classic tale of gentrification.
My name is Demetri Siafakas, or Demetrio Siafakas, and I am one of the owners of Peter Pan Donut and Pastry Shop. I've worked there 10 years. I'm officially the afternoon manager. Because of the rezoning laws, the politicians got together and decided that Greenpoint was ripe for development.
Yeah.
Whoever wasn't rent controlled already now no longer had to be rent controlled. Basically giving the incentive for landlords to kick out prior tenants so they can hike the charge of rent to prices unfathomable at the time. Then you had an influx. The original influx of people from the Midwest and the Northeast, okay, were artists. And were people who got art degrees, such as myself, like English or art history. So many of these people lived 7 in an apartment, paying $2,000 to $2,000 rent. Thus, for a while in Brooklyn, there was a crazy cool art scene. Now, there's problems that comes along with that because these kids came with financial backing of the middle class parents. Their parents were, like my parents are, either business owners or doctors, lawyers, people who could afford to send their kids to college for art degrees and not have to worry about them. And then these kids came out to Brooklyn, but then the second wave came, and the third wave came, and the fourth wave came of people who were slowly of a higher class of people. Suddenly, there's like an influx of people pushing out and driving up prices to coffee shops like ours. These people no longer want to see 99 businesses like, how can I think of?
We understand the 99 cent stores.
Not bodegas, because they like the appeal of bodegas for some reason. But I can remember across the street was Smitty's. It was like a women's undergarment store. The influx of people, they're not going to go to Smitty's undergarment store. So Smitty closes up. He retires. A lot of these businesses retired eventually. The Polish community gets pushed out. You know what I mean? Because they were all, at the time, were working class people. Some of the Polish community ended up benefiting from it because they were business owners.
We actually noticed that. They learned how to adapt, I guess,
Exactly.
to the new people that are there.
So originally, everyone was antagonistic towards the influx of people. Now, you could say many things. One, with time, everyone gets used to everything. It really is, you adopt the people coming in and realize you have to coexist. You don't have a choice. At first, I felt some sort of antagonism to the people who were coming, which I don't know why. They were my clientele. They were supporting my business. I began to realize that these are just regular people. Didn't do anything wrong. It was, in fact, the people who made the laws to develop Greenpoint that, they knew very well that what they would be doing is pushing out working class Polish people, working class Latin American people, working class Irish and Italian, ethnic groups and non-ethnic groups of whatever. Pushing working class to poverty level people in favor of those people who could afford a $4 coffee.
So demographic-wise, before it was maybe more immigrants, working class, Americans versus...
It was a mixture of the old Irish and Italian families, okay, that had still remained there. The Polish working class, Polish immigrant families, who largely are either business owners, or largely came to own businesses, or worked in working class jobs. And you also had the Latin American community.
Good. So I was gonna ask about like prices. Have you taken advantage of the new wave and kind of hiked prices more than they?
No. The simple answer is no. The complicated answer, we did not hike up our prices because if you want to be in a business sense strictly, you're buying a customer. And ultimately what we try to do at Peter Pan is we create a familiarity with our customer base in hopes that they will always come back and return.
How you see the future of Manhattan Avenue?
What hopes?
Of Manhattan Avenue. Realistically, though, every mom and pop shop will be replaced by something more powerful. What do I mean more powerful? Something that has something with financial backing. But what's going to happen is these small little businesses that don't have a name, these like people like my parents, they'll get replaced by name organizations, the brands that already existed, a Rite Aid, a CVS. The businesses that do open up are going to be all tailored to the new market. It's not going to be tailored to anyone. That's the thing people are most bitter about, I think, is that the new businesses are never tailored to the old Greenpoint. That's the thing that's toughest to swallow. It only makes sense to do that because that is going to be the future.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about like the atmosphere of the street, like Manhattan Avenue or Greenpoint in general.
Keep bringing it back
Kind
to
of
Greenpoint.
like growing up, do you feel like it was like safe, like going out at night, and like how has like I know like now it's pretty mellow.
It was considerably different, and this is the part where it's problematic because I'm going to tell you now that before gentrification, of course, it wasn't safer in Greenpoint. It used to be, my father had situations where, Good Room around the before Europa became the Good Room, it was a club that mainly Polish people went to. My father would open when people got out of Europa. From Meserole Avenue to Norman Avenue was people fighting in the streets, people coming into the store demanding donuts. These people are drunk out of their minds. People fighting each other, people all types of intoxicated. Yeah, it's safer. At night you could do... since I've been 18, I'm a night owl. I go out in Greenpoint and in Williamsburg, and never have I come across a moment I've considered dangerous. It's hard to watch everything we grew up with fade in front of us, and it's hard to watch me coming into the store in July 11, 2008, and watching Brookyln change from 2008 to 2012 so much. That's crazy. Like in 4 years, I remember going, oh my God, this has changed since I've gotten here, like completely. And then from 2012 to 2017, I don't recognize it from then. It's changed so much. Now the density is crazy. See, before it was a bunch of artists who were like, I totally dig the vibe of Greenpoint. I totally want to be a part of this. They wanted to be adopted. Now you have people who are saying adapt to me.
Yeah. Okay, well, on behalf of, our group, our third member couldn't make it today, but, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you, guys.
Seriously.